Pixar waited so long to make a sequel to Finding Nemo, I now have 2 kids to take to the movies. When it first came out, all I had to take was a date. Finding Dory, starring Ellen DeGeneres, Ed O'Neill, Albert Brooks, Kaitlin Olson, and directed by Andrew Stanton and Agnes McLean. The movie tells a story of how Dory slowly begins to remember bits of her childhood and her parents. She wants to try to find and reunite with them. That's it, a simple premise to a simple movie. But Pixar always finds a way to put more than what meets the eye into their films. Finding Dory also fills in the backstory about how Dory knew so many things in Finding Nemo. Did you ever wonder why a fish who can't remember anything can read and can talk to whales? This film explains why and does it extremely well. They weave how she gained her knowledge seamlessly into the film and add on to what she knows while she's meeting new and old friends. The movie is a journey similar to Finding Nemo, but it is a very different story. We meet a new host of side characters, and they are all welcome additions to this ocean universe. The standout among the new side characters is Hank the Octopus, voiced by Ed O'Neill. All Hank wants to do is to go to Cleveland and not be released back to the ocean. He gets wrapped up into helping Dory, and their interactions help make the film a treat to watch. DeGeneres and O'Neill bring both characters to life, and their chemistry, even if it is just vocal, is fantastic in the film. The other new character who stood out was Destiny the Whale Shark, voiced by Kaitlin Olson. From the trailers, I didn't know if she was going to be a welcome addition, but she was fantastic, and her character had me laughing throughout the entire movie. The comedy is another strong point for the film. I was laughing the entire runtime, and it has both humor for kids and adults, like most Pixar movies. I laughed the hardest at the sea lions, voiced by Idris Elba and Dominic Wilson, who were great additions to the comic relief. They worked well for both children and adults in the audience I saw the film with. The movie had a great mixture of comedy and actual story. For those worried the side character of Dory couldn't hold an entire film, they shouldn't have. Stanton and McLean had a story to tell with Dory, and did a good job in telling it. I'm not sure if anyone will be tearing up during Finding Dory, but the movie does tug at your heartstrings. I found myself as a parent being emotionally invested in Dory's story because of the connection I have to my kids. I heard before seeing the movie that Finding Dory could be a beacon to kids with disabilities, and I could see how the film could speak to those children and their parents. Dory is undeniably the hero of the film and saves the day on numerous occasions in a fashion unique to her character. One of the only problems I had with the film is that they went a little overboard with the ending. They could have ended the film on a few occasions, but kept extending scenarios which became more and more ludicrous. Yes, this is a children's movie about talking marine life, but for the finale I felt they broke some of the rules that had been established for the world they created, which is something that always bothers me. Create a world, but then stick to the rules that you create for it. I can suspend my disbelief if a film does this, but I was pulled out of watching Finding Dory during the finale because of the events happening on screen. The only other complaint I can see being leveled at the movie are the parts with Marlin and Nemo. They are important to the story, but I felt their side adventure wasn't as well put together as Dory's. The movie dragged just a bit when it flashed over to them, which in the original, you were both invested in Marlin finding Nemo and Nemo's adventure in the fish tank. Marlin and Nemo's parts aren't horrible, but they're just not to the same level as the main storyline. I don't think they can be cut from the film, but you got the sense the writers weren't completely sure what to do with them for this movie. Overall, Finding Dory is a very good film that touches your heart and tells a compelling story about the fish who forgets. It isn't the best Pixar film ever, but they set such a high standard for their movies, it's hard to crack their top tier. This film is worth seeing, and worth adding to your Pixar collection when it becomes available to buy. Take your kids or a date to the movie and have fun. What did you think of Finding Dory if you've seen it? I'll be generic, unlike Pixar, and ask what is your favorite Pixar movie? For me, it's a toss-up between Up and Inside Out. Inside Out keeps impressing me every time my 4-year-old puts it on. I find myself always watching when he does. Like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Thanks for watching.